Kate Money Martin, has officially been waived by the Golden State Valkyries. She is a free agent. She is available to all teams in the WNBA. Where will she go? And is a reunion with Caitlin Clark in Indiana on the horizon? Developmental spot. But the question is, do you guys want her on the Indiana Fever? Let's get right.
You are staring at that post right now. That tweet. That cold, emotionless two-line roster update that dropped on the morning of May 7th like a fire alarm going off at 3 in the morning. No press release. No formal statement. No acknowledgement of what this player meant to the organization for the past season and a half. Just a roster update. The Golden State Valkyries have waived guard Kate Martin. Period. Done. And just like that, one of the most beloved names in women's basketball, a back-to-back top jersey seller, a player the Valkyries literally put in their own promotional content heading into the season, was left without a team the day before the season opener. Welcome to WNBA Today, and this story has already set the entire internet on fire. Kate Money Martin has been waived by the Golden State Valkyries. She is a free agent. She is available. And the fanbase that has spent 2 full years waiting for the reunion they never got is absolutely losing its mind right now. And honestly, that reaction makes complete sense because the circumstances behind this move, the timing of it, the drama surrounding it, and the very real possibilities of what comes next is exactly the kind of story that reminds everyone why women's basketball has become the most talked about product in all of sports. So we are going all the way in today. Who made this call and why? What are the realistic landing spots for Kate Martin? And is the Indiana Fever front office about to make the smartest feel-good move of the entire offseason or get completely exposed by their own roster math? Let us get into every piece of it. First, let us lock in the facts because this story is moving fast and there is already a mountain of noise mixed in with the actual truth. As reported by Bleacher Report, Kate Martin appeared in 42 of the Valkyries' 44 games last season, averaging 6.2 points, 2.7 rebounds, and 1 assist per game as a reliable rotational piece off the bench. Just over 16 minutes a night. As reported by Athlon Sports, her toughness and perimeter defense made her a fan favorite almost immediately, and she was widely expected to step into an even bigger role in 2026 as Golden State entered its second season with significantly higher expectations. Then training camp happened. Martin was diagnosed with a grade 2 right quad strain on April 28 after getting hurt in practice. She told reporters on May 5 that things were progressing well and that she had missed the final weeks of practice because of the injury. Just 2 days before opening day, Martin was giving a positive update. She was progressing. She was day to day. The reasonable expectation was that she would miss the opening weeks and slot right back into the rotation she had earned. Then the Valkyries waived her. The move landed as a genuine shock given her contributions last season and the fact she was still actively recovering. As reported by the SF Standard, neither head coach Natalie Acuff nor general manager Ohima Nyanen had spoken publicly to explain the decision by the time the news broke. No press conference. No context. Just complete silence while the internet erupted all around them. And here is the detail that makes this sting even harder. The Valkyries simultaneously announced they had filed for a replacement contract for center Ilana Rupert due to pregnancy, meaning the roster was being restructured in real time. The organization was managing multiple complicated pieces at once, which may explain part of the reasoning. But from the outside looking in, it looked exactly like a team cutting a beloved player while she was literally in the training room rehabbing an injury she suffered working for them. And in 2026, with the audience this sport now commands, that image is going to cost you every single time. Now let us build the complete picture of Kate Martin, the basketball player, because a section of the internet has been entirely dismissive of her actual ability, reducing her down to nothing more than her friendship with Caitlin Clark and her social media numbers. That is neither fair nor accurate, and that is not how things get handled on WNBA Today. Kate Martin is a legitimate WNBA caliber defender. Physical. Smart. Her toughness and perimeter defense made her a fan favorite almost instantly and a genuinely valuable piece for a Valkyries team that became the first WNBA expansion franchise to reach the playoffs in their inaugural season. You do not help a brand new organization reach the postseason in year one without delivering real winning basketball. She was part of something special in Golden State. And yes, the shooting numbers, 32.3% from the field and 31% from 3 are not elite, and that is a completely fair critique. The shooting has to keep developing if she is going to grow into a larger role. But the defensive value, the locker room value, the hustle plays, and the winning mentality she brings wherever she goes, all of that is completely real and it translates. And here is the part of her story that goes far beyond basketball. This woman has been a top jersey seller for back-to-back WNBA seasons. She has a fan base that is deeply and fiercely devoted. When the Valkyries dropped that one-line waiver announcement with zero ceremony and zero warmth, the reaction was not just disappointment. It was outright anger. Fans felt like an organization had used this player's name and popularity to market themselves, and then discarded her the moment the math got messy. Whether that read is completely fair to the Valkyries' front office is debatable, but that is how it landed. And perception controls everything in this sport right now. So where does Kate Martin go from here? Let us break down the real options because speculation is flying everywhere and some of it needs sorting out immediately. As reported by Athlon Sports, once a player is waived, she hits the waiver wire and any of the league's 15 teams has 48 hours to submit a claim on her contract. If multiple teams claim her, the league awards the contract to the team with the highest waiver priority. If nobody claims her within that window, she becomes an unrestricted free agent and can negotiate with any team she chooses. There is also a third path, and it is the one that has a very specific fan base completely hyperventilating right now. Let us start with the most obvious option that is not Indianapolis because the full landscape deserves attention before we reach the main event. As reported by Sports Illustrated, the Las Vegas Aces are a genuine landing spot. Martin spent her rookie season there. She knows the system. She knows the culture. The Aces could use her to strengthen the guard position after losing Aaliyah Nye to the expansion draft. The fit is already established. And it is not like the franchise willingly moved on from her the first time either. The Aces left her unprotected in the expansion draft. That was pure roster management, not a statement about her value. Becky Hammond is a championship-caliber coach who knows exactly how to deploy smart, versatile guards. If Las Vegas brings Martin back, that is a legitimate roster upgrade for a team always in the title conversation. The Dallas Wings with Paige Buchers is another name circulating. The Atlanta Dream with Angel Reese has also entered the discussion. These are real options for a player who delivers defensive energy, winning intangibles, and a massive following wherever she lands. There will be serious interest. The only question is which organization moves first and offers her the clearest path to meaningful minutes. But let us be completely transparent about why everyone is really here today. The elephant in the room. The storyline that broke the internet the second that waiver announcement dropped. Indiana Fever. Caitlin Clark. The reunion that 2 full years of WNBA fandom has been dreaming about out loud. Here is the actual roster situation before the emotion takes over. As reported by Athlon Sports, Indiana's 12-player roster is currently full. If the Fever want to make a standard contract claim on Martin, they would need to make a corresponding roster move, meaning someone gets released to bring her in on a full deal. That is a serious decision involving real people's careers and a clear front office philosophy about what this team needs right now. But, and this is the part making Fever fans go absolutely wild on social media, there is a second door. If Martin clears waivers, the Fever could sign her to their open developmental contract spot for 2026. Under the new collective bargaining agreement, developmental players can practice with the team and be activated for up to 12 games during the regular season. It is not a full roster spot. It does not guarantee meaningful minutes. But it gets her in the building, in practice every single day, and keeps the door open for a standard contract activation if the right opportunity presents itself. Here is the completely honest and unfiltered take. The developmental contract path is the realistic version of this reunion, and it is genuinely the right version for both sides right now. Kate Martin just dealt with a grade 2 quad strain. She is rehabbing. She is not game ready today. Bringing her in on a developmental deal lets her continue recovering without the pressure of immediate production, lets the Fever monitor her health up close, and lets the natural chemistry between her and Clark build in practice before she ever plays a live game. That is smart roster management, not a consolation prize. Fever fans wasted absolutely no time making their feelings known. One fan wrote that having Caitlin and Kate playing together would make them spontaneously combust and that they need it in their life immediately. Another posted directly asking the Fever why they are not doing everything possible to make this reunion happen right now. The passion is completely real and entirely understandable. These two built something at Iowa that captivated an entire nation. They spent years guiding the Hawkeyes to back-to-back national championship games. Their chemistry is already proven. A reunion would be one of the most compelling storylines in the sport this season. But the honest counterargument also deserves to be heard, because on WNBA Today we do not only tell you what you want to hear, we tell you what is actually true. Indiana's backcourt is already crowded. Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, Lexi Hull, Tasha Harris, Chastity Walker-Kimbrough, and rookie Raven Johnson all occupy guard spots, leaving very limited space for consistent minutes. Martin's shooting remains a real question as well. She shot 31% from 3 in 2025, and while there is room for growth, it is still a developing part of her game. If Martin is looking for a clearly defined role at 25 years old, and she absolutely should be, Indiana may not be the ideal fit regardless of her history with Clark. That is simply the basketball reality. The Fever are not bringing Martin in to be a rotation player or a starter this season. They already have more guards than they have real minutes for. And the 12-game activation limit means she would not even have the chance to build genuine regular season momentum. There is a version of this reunion that makes complete sense as a developmental investment, a culture addition, a get healthy and then reassess situation. But there is also a version where Martin looks at that offer, reflects on everything she has earned as a professional, and decides she deserves a more clearly defined opportunity somewhere else. And if that is the decision she makes, nobody has any right to be upset with her for it. As reported by Sports Illustrated, the Aces remain a genuinely compelling alternative. The Las Vegas organization knows exactly what Martin brings. And while the emotional pull of Indianapolis is enormous, professional athletes have to make professional decisions, and sometimes the franchise that gives you the most runway is not the one that generates the biggest headlines. Now let us pull back and address the bigger picture, because the Kate Martin story is not simply a roster transaction. It is a story about what women's basketball has become and how dramatically the entire landscape has shifted in 2 short years. This is a player who has been a top 5 jersey seller for back-to-back seasons. A player who initially went undrafted before the Las Vegas Aces took a chance on her in the second round in 2024, and she has been justifying that decision ever since. Before the Aces selected her, Martin was actually at the 2024 WNBA draft there to support Clark when she unexpectedly heard her own name called. Think about that for a moment. She walked in as a friend and a supporter and walked out as a professional basketball player. That is a real story. That is genuine character. That is exactly the kind of person every organization should want inside their locker room. And the fact that a player carrying that story, that following, and that established value receives a single-line waiver announcement the day before opening day while recovering from an injury suffered at the team's own facility says something important about how even the strongest organizations in this league are still learning how to handle the magnitude of what they now possess. The WNBA is not the same league it was 4 years ago. The audiences are dramatically larger. The scrutiny is far more intense. The emotional investment from the fanbase has reached a level nobody fully anticipated. When you make moves, even necessary basketball rational moves, without communicating them with the care and respect the moment demands, you will get dragged. And the Valkyries are getting dragged right now because they earned every bit of it. So here is the final completely honest zero-spin assessment. Kate Martin deserves a full roster spot on a team that will genuinely give her real minutes. At 25 years old, coming off 2 professional seasons where she has done nothing but prove her value and grow her game, a developmental contract with a team that already has 7 guards is simply not what her career needs right now. If the Indiana Fever are truly serious about this reunion, and it is about more than a feel-good social media moment, the front office needs to be prepared to make the difficult call. That means seriously evaluating whether one of those existing guard spots can be cleared to bring Martin in on a standard deal through a trade, a waiver, or a creative contract restructure. Because anything less than a genuine real opportunity is not respect. It is a photo opportunity dressed up as one. And if Vegas, Dallas, Atlanta, or whoever arrives at Kate Martin's door first with a real role and real guaranteed minutes, she should take it without a single second of hesitation. Her career matters far more than anyone's nostalgia. No matter how powerful the idea of Clark and Martin sharing a court in Indiana feels. But here is what keeps coming back around. This is precisely the kind of story that makes the WNBA essential viewing in 2026. A beloved player suddenly available. The most recognized team in the sport with an open roster spot. A friendship between two of the most visible athletes in the game. 48 hours of waiver drama that has the entire basketball world holding its breath. 2 years ago, nobody outside of Iowa was tracking WNBA waiver wire moves in real time. Now it is breaking news before most people finish their morning coffee. That is what genuine growth looks like. That is what the Caitlin Clark era has built from the ground up. And wherever Kate Martin ultimately lands, Indiana or somewhere else entirely, this story is only getting better from here. That is the full breakdown. Kate Money Martin is free. The window is wide open. The clock on that 48-hour waiver period is actively running. And what happens next is going to reveal a great deal about which front offices in this league truly understand the historic moment they are operating in. Drop your take in the comments right now. Do you want Kate Martin on the Indiana Fever by whatever means necessary, or do you want her to find a team that gives her a real defined role and real minutes? There is no wrong answer here. This is a genuine debate and both sides deserve to be heard. If this breakdown gave you the real story with no spin and no filler, then hit that like button right now. Subscribe if you are not already part of the WNBA Today family and turn on notifications because this situation is going to keep developing fast, and the moment the next move drops we will be right here covering every detail. Do not look away. The WNBA is moving at full speed.